Welcome, foolish mortals. I'm your host, 1000th Ghost, and we're here today to talk about WandaVision, episodes 1 and 2, which dropped this morning on Disney Plus. This is a very interesting series. There wasn't a lot known about it before it came out. It's been pushed back because of COVID and things like that. And I've deliberately tried to stay away from anything too spoilerly. That's not a real word. Anyway, however, after watching the first couple episodes, this review isn't going to be filled with spoilers because there really aren't any to spoil yet. Um, I think I'm not sure if they're going to release 2 episodes every week or not, but I feel that they had to release 2 episodes this week because if they would have just released episode 1, I think it would have actually turned people off of the show. WandaVision is, of course, an extension of the MCU. It takes place supposedly after Avengers Endgame and Infinity Wars. It mostly deals with Wanda and Vision, as the title would suggest. Uh, Wanda, played by Elizabeth Olsen, and Paul Bentley playing Vision. It also has some great side characters, co-stars, and they pop in and out quite a lot. The show is basically seems to be something along the lines of Wanda is losing her mind and the only thing to keep her sane is by putting herself into sitcoms. Now, the first episode is very clearly a Dick Van Dyke show parody or homage. A lot of people say it's I Love Lucy. It's not really I Love Lucy. They went out of their way to design the set to look pretty much exactly like the Dick Van Dyke show set. Now, the way Wanda acts is very kind of Lucille Ballish, but Vision is definitely more of the Dick Van Dyke character. The show it's different, but different in a good way. It actually, you could have almost made this an episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show. It's very formulaic. It has a laugh track. It's weird to hear laugh tracks again. I don't watch a lot of sitcoms anymore, so I miss that, or I think I miss it. I'm not really sure. The first episode basically deals with Wanda and Vision having to deal with the fact that his boss is coming to dinner. Now, we've seen this in the Jetsons and the Flintstones, in literally every sitcom ever, basically, of the guy's boss coming to dinner, and this is going to get him a big promotion or something like that. But if he screws it up, he's going to lose his job. So it basically deals with them trying to settle down in their life and deal with this incoming problem. It has a great theme song. So far, both episodes have had completely different theme songs that are very fitting with the show that they're doing. I'm trying to remember her name. Kathleen Hain plays their next door neighbor, Agnes, and she is patterned very much on the neighbor from the Dick Van Dyke Show. She is brilliant. There are a couple other great guest stars, including Deborah Jo Rope from the '70s show. I really wish they would have gotten. I forgot his name. The guy who played the dad on the '70s show. That would have been great. But they did get Fred Mallard, who's just as good. But basically, it goes through her having to use her magic to whip up a dinner and hide the fact that one of them's a robot and the other is some sort of mutant. They did a good job, and really, there's not much to it beyond that. It's a very formulaic episode of a sitcom. Only at the very end do you have any clue you're watching something that isn't real. This is the only spoilerly bit as the camera pulls back. kind of back away from the television set, you can see that somebody's actually sitting and watching this show, which is interesting. I don't know if they've tapped into her mind or how they're watching this program through her mind. But very well done. It's all in black and white, and the writing was great. The second episode is an extended episode of Bewitched. And it's clearly Bewitched. It's the same. She has the same hair. She wears the same suit pants. The set looks almost exactly the same, but in my horrible OCD-like pattern of watching shows, the couch is in the wrong spot, and it throws me off and out of the episode every time they flip. The couch is in the wrong spot for the Bewitched set, which I know is petty and small, but they went out of their way to make so much of the set perfect. But it's shot that way so that people coming in and out of the door have some effect, and that's not how Bewitched was set. Bewitched didn't use the door a lot. Everything happened in the living room. It was very well done. They're doing a talent show for the children, and they're doing a magic act, and so Vision gets to play the magician while Wanda plays his assistant, and they've got all this great thing worked out, and it shows Vision. Well, the first episode showed him at work as some sort of an accountant. The second episode, he goes to a meeting of the Neighborhood Watch, which is about as useful as any Neighborhood Watch was in the 1960s. But it's just a group of guys who that's their excuse to get together and really get away from the wives. While the wives are using the children's benefit to get together, drink wine, and get away from the men. So it all works out great for them. But while there, Vision decides to try and fit in by eating some gum. And of course, the gum gums up his works, literally. He accidentally swallows it, and it shows a little cartoon of it going down his throat into his stomach and kind of getting caught up in his gears, which basically makes him seem drunk. Now, both of these episodes, the writing is incredible, and it lets both these actors do stuff that you just don't get to do in the MCU. You know, Paul being drunk, playing drunk Vision, is great. It's perfect. He acts exactly as you think Vision might act if he was faulty somehow. Reminded me kind of how Data would mess up in the Next Generation. But really, Elizabeth really is great in this. She plays both parts. Both the Mary Tyler Moore are Lucille Ball bit, along with the Elizabeth Montgomery bit from Bewitched, perfectly. She plays off everyone. About halfway through the episode, she hears a crash. So she goes outside, and in a bush, in a very Pleasantville sort of way, is a helicopter. And it's the only thing in color. And so she picks it up and she starts looking at it. And on the side of the helicopter is the emblem for SWORD, the organization that replaced SHIELD. She doesn't understand what it is. And the second episode lets you see that every time something from the real world tries to break through to her, her mind makes some sort of defense against it, or suddenly one of the co-stars will pop in and say something or take her mind off of it. It's almost like she's lucid dreaming and she refuses to be part of whatever's going on in her mind. And so she's having this lucid dream that she's controlling. This is really seen later in the episode when they go outside. Toward the end of the episode, they've won an award for the magic show. There's a lot of great gags in that I'm not going to give away. And they go outside and there's a manhole cover. And you can hear this clacking and stuff, and the manhole cover lifts off, and this guy wearing a beekeeper suit surrounded by bees, climbs out in a very kind of Stranger Things sort of way, and then just turns his head and looks right at Wanda. And Wanda's startled, and she looks and says, "No." And then the whole show just goes in reverse. Literally, it looks like a VHS tape rewinding, and it rewinds to the part just before they heard the noise to go outside. And then she starts the dream or whatever it is over again. And now we see she's pregnant. Now in Bewitched, Elizabeth Montgomery became pregnant, so they had to write the pregnancy into the show. So I don't know what they're doing with this. Honestly, I didn't keep up with Marvel a lot back when Vision and Wanda had kids. I know they did. I'm not sure how this is going to fit into the wider MCU or if this is just part of her dream. I would assume the next episode takes place still in the Bewitched timeline. We've only seen glimpses of others, which would be the Brady Bunch and what looks like possibly Growing Pains. So it'll be interesting to see if every decade of the show gets 2 episodes. So at just about a half hour, they're just about the right time, actually. Unlike The Mandalorian, which seemed very short a lot of times, this seemed actually just about the right length. There's just enough story to get you to where you need to go. And there aren't really any spoilers. We don't get any hint that something else might be going on, except that there are small things that throw her out. She's next to a radio and she's hearing the Beach Boys song, Help Me Rhonda, except on the next chorus it says, Help Me Wanda. Help me Wanda. And then she hears a voice saying, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Wanda, who's doing this to you? And then the radio just breaks. And so it's interesting. There's nothing really to spoil. I actually did really like it. I'm looking forward to more episodes. I've watched a few reaction videos this morning after I watched it, and a lot of the comic guys and stuff are very confused. They're not sure where this is going. They're trying to figure out if this is going to lead to, like, say, the return of Phoenix, and this is how they're going to backdoor the X-Men in, or if this is some sort of House of M crossover, what all this is. But I think it's funny that they're kind of lost, and it's actually nice because they don't have anything to go on. And probably the 3rd episode will give us a little more background, and then they can start forming their own little plots forward. But that's all I had. I just wanted to come out and talk about those first 2 episodes. Looking forward to the next 1 or 2 episodes that come out next Friday. Until then, talk to you later. See ya.